Hey friends, namaste. Okay, this one, something in my beard. Okay, so the word Kriya. One of my yoga students just sent me a text message asking about it. And she had the observation that Kriya is niyama as well as the first verse in the second chapter of the Yoga Sutras. So the first verse of the Yoga Sutras in the second chapter, second pada, is tapaha svadhyaya ishvari pranidhanava kriya yogaha. Tapaha svadhyaya ishvara pranidhanava kriya yogaha. I was going to try to say it without stuttering over it. The second time I did anyways. So tapaha means to sweat, to put pressure on, to regulate, austerity. It's a internal process that brings transformation. Tapaha. Tapasya, tapas are some of the other grammatical breakdowns. Tapaha svadhyaya. Svadhyaya is self-study. A lot of people in the Hatha yoga world today, they've turned svadhyaya into this thing where it's we're going to do swadhyaya on how our knees are in this yoga posture. Now, I'm a yoga therapist. I love structural yoga, but swadhyaya is not referring to analyzing postures. That would be something that could lead to more narodaha or thought waves. Narodaha is stilling of chitta vritti, is talked about in the second verse of the Yoga Sutras, first chapter. Yoga, chitta vritti, narodaha. Yoga is stilling the cessations of the thought waves. So we want to be having our yoga practice bring us to a place of stillness in our mind, not more restlessness, not more questions. Now, unfortunately, when a teacher has ethical misconducts, it makes all of the students' minds very busy, which is what we're dealing with right now in the Kundalini Yoga community, which is very sad and unfortunate. But svadhyaya is self-study. So it's not self like I'm going to study my knee, that's anatomy. It's self-study, who am I? What is the nature of my mind? What is the soul? Why am I here? Svadhyaya also refers to the repetition of mantra. So that would be any Vedic mantra, and I think from the Sikh perspective, it might be able to say chanting of any Sikh mantra as well. I'm taking a little liberty there. So svadhyaya, tapaha, svadhyaya, ishvara pranidhanava. So this word means, the compound word, Ishvara means God. Pranidhanava means deep, intense devotional surrender. So this is one of the recurring teachings in the Yoga Sutra, that through devotional longing for God, the universe, Divine Mother, whatever you want to call it, that we can attain samadhi just from that longing in and of itself. So with these three things, tapaha, austerity, svadhyaya, self-study, and Ishvara Pranidhanava, we have karma, bhakti, and jnana yoga laid out. So the bhakti is the devotional longing. Svadhyaya is jnana yoga, the study of self, study of who am I. And tapaha is karma yoga, to take action in our practice. So then the verse goes on to say, Kriya Yogaha, tapaha svadhyaya, ishvara pranidhanava, Kriya Yogaha. Kriya Yoga, the path of Kriya Yoga. So this was the topic of what we're going to explore. So Kriya Yoga. In the Yoga Sutras, it's saying that Kriya Yoga is these threefold things. Again, when we go to the niyamas in Ashtanga Yoga, the last three niyamas are again tapaha, svadhyaya, and ishvara pranidhanava. So this is an important teaching of what Kriya Yoga is. Now, the word Kriya is like any word. We can use words in lots of different ways. So I am not here to say that Yogi Bhajan was using the word Kriya incorrectly. My Kriya Yoga teachers use it to explain the part of the Yoga Sutra we just went over. And also, it's what they've named their meditation technique, which is using chakras. I brought this up in another video, but they're using bandhas, chakras, mudras, pranayama, all those things which are part of a Kundalini Yoga system. And they call it doing the Kriya. So Kriya means complete action, and Yogi Bhajan's translation of it is fairly accurate. As far as him having his 5,000 Kriyas, it's like way out of my scope of practice. So if I was to say that Yogi Bhajan had the power of samyana, which is when you have meditative powers, and you have siddhis from meditative powers, which cause you to be able to know the nature of an object as it is. Some of his kriyas might be true if he actually had that. Now, can he have that and then also have the tendencies towards sexual abuse that's been coming out? I don't know. I mean, it's out of my scope of practice. I would say it might be possible. It sort of gets you into a person who, if you look at Ken Wilber's theory, you can have people who are very involved in certain ways, but they might have shadow in others. So Yogi Bhajan, and I would really suggest looking in Ken Wilber's. I would put the link here, but YouTube won't let me yet because I don't have enough viewers. But check out Ken Wilber's talk about the shadow of the guru, and he explores those issues where a person can be very involved with certain spiritual aspects, but also very low evolved and not very well evolved when it comes to certain emotional, or maybe their sexuality is not integrated. And having unlimited power, I understood how I have some compassion for Yogi Bhajan, that he could have lost his focus, but he still might have had the power of samyama. Now, do the kriyas work? I've experienced them to work myself. I don't practice them currently because I'm very focused on my other practice. I think some of them are definitely made up, definitely hybridizing Western psychology and different things. And we could get into more specifics if we wanted to really talk about this and put a lot of time into what components are in different kriyas. As I said in my last video, we can look at classical yoga to look at the classical pranayamas that Yogi Bhajan used, and some of the asana practices. Those are very traceable. As far as all of his evolved kriyas, it's a lot harder to really trace it. It's definitely his own hybridized system. The effectiveness of it is up to the individual for them to use. But my main point is the word kriya. Let me get back to that. The word kriya means to take action. So Yogi Bhajan says you do this sequence of exercises and you've taken an action. The word kriya, as my teachers explain it, which comes from the Sanskrit etymology, I do not believe that they are making this up. I've looked in Sanskrit dictionaries and it seems to be pretty truthful. The etymology is kri and ya. Kri is to do, to take action. Ya is the soul. So every action is being observed by the soul. This is Kriya Yoga. So then we take Kriya Yoga of our tapas, the sweat we create in our practice and just by being alive. Swadhyaya, self-study, self-inquiry. Who am I? What's the nature of my mind? And then our devotional longing. And each person will have more or less of these. Some people don't have any relationship to a God, which is fine, and they just practice who am I, what's the nature of my mind. Other people are very bhakti, and they don't practice any self-inquiry. So there's all kinds of people, and that's the way that we're made, and it's beautiful. These are all of our own kriyas that we all go through. Now, the other kind of kriya is Shakti kriyas. I haven't seen people in the 3HO community so much experience in this, but it's when the energy takes you over and you start shaking, breathing, sweating. Internally, you go into a very altered state. Your body is buzzing. You start to see intense lights, very intense sensations. The body will start to go into spontaneous mudras. So that's considered Shakti Kriya, which happens from Shaktipat, and it's affiliated with a lot of Tantric traditions. And it's a big part of Kundalini. And again, Kundalini is I've simplified it down to the Hatha Yoga Pradipika and the other books, but it's actually much larger than that in the whole Tantric tradition. It's a big thing. I'm rambling here, but Kriya is a diverse word. It's very diverse in Yogi Bhajan's teachings, but we can look to the Yoga Sutras as sort of a standard of what it means. Tapaha, Svadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhanava, Kriya Yoga. Beautiful teaching. We can weigh our experience with our different sadhanas based upon Yoga Sutras, see if we want to keep it, see if we want to get rid of it, and especially in light of all of the things that have been going on with what Yogi Bhajan taught and the confusion that people are going through. So my compassion to all of us that are dealing with that, and I hope to continue to be of service to people to help clarify things and frame things from language outside of the Yogi Bhajan system. Because we can't look to the system that has cultivated the confusion to continue to give us new answers to how to deal with the problems that have all come out. So this is an important point. Thank you for giving a listen. Peace. Namaste. Satanam.